In the wake of the Second World War, the world map was drastically redrawn, and the balance of power was dramatically altered. The once mighty empires of Europe lay in ruins, and two new superpowers emerged to take their place: the United States and the Soviet Union. This new global landscape was fraught with tension and uncertainty, and it was in this context that the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, or NATO, was born. The seeds of NATO were sown in the years immediately following the end of the Second World War. Europe was in ruins, and the Soviet Union, under the leadership of Joseph Stalin, was rapidly expanding its influence across Eastern Europe. Many Western nations were concerned about the threat of Soviet expansion, and there was a growing sense that a collective defense was needed. In response to this perceived threat, discussions began between Western nations about the possibility of a collective defense pact. This idea was first formally proposed in 1947 in a series of diplomatic exchanges between the United States and the United Kingdom. The idea was met with enthusiasm, and over the next 2 years, negotiations were held to hammer out the details of the proposed treaty. In 1949, the North Atlantic Treaty was signed in Washington, D.C. It was a landmark moment in world history, marking the first time that the United States had entered into a peacetime military alliance. The treaty was a direct response to the perceived threat of Soviet expansion, and it committed the signatories to a policy of collective defense. An attack on one would be considered an attack on all. The formation of NATO marked a significant shift in global politics. It was a clear signal of the West's determination to resist Soviet expansion, and it established a new balance of power in the post-war world. The treaty was not without its critics, however. Some saw it as a provocative move that would only serve to escalate tensions with the Soviet Union. Others questioned the wisdom of tying the United States so closely to the fortunes of Europe. In the decades that followed, NATO would play a crucial role in the Cold War, acting as a bulwark against Soviet aggression. Today, it remains one of the most important military alliances in the world, a testament to the enduring relevance of the principles upon which it was founded. To summarize, the creation of NATO was a response to the perceived threat of Soviet expansion in the aftermath of the Second World War. It marked a significant shift in global politics and established a new balance of power in the post-war world. Despite its critics, NATO has proven its worth over the decades, standing as a bulwark against aggression and a symbol of the West's commitment to collective defense.